Would you like to discover your purpose? Would you like your life to mean something? Would you like to know where it's all going, what it all adds up to, and take away that pain of just thinking, oh, I'm just working hard and I don't really know where I'm going, right? In this video, I want to help you with that because it's something I've been working on for 15 years now. And purpose and meaning are the most important aspects of leadership because if you can help yourself and other people to know that they matter, to see a meaning in what they do and who they are, and to understand the purpose of it, you can get through anything. But without it, even the smallest thing can just trip you up. So let's look at purpose. Let's start by looking at purpose. In the English language, to do something on purpose means to be aware of it, to have an intention for it. You're not kind of sleepwalking through, not really paying attention. So if you get on in your car or if you get on a bus or a train or a plane, you've got somewhere where you want to go. There's a purpose and meaning to it. Let's just go for a drive, right? When you Google search something or ask AI a prompt question, there's a purpose and a meaning to it. You're not just randomly mashing keys and hoping you get something. So to live on purpose and to live with meaning is really important for us as human beings. At the moment, there's a lot of people struggling with that. These existential questions of like, it's the start of the year. Who am I? What's going on with my life? There's all these wars in the world. How's that affect me? What do I think about my family? Where's my business going? How's my body doing? I'm getting older. What does that mean? These are real questions, things that people said to me recently. So you're not alone in this. So recognize that purpose and meaning, these questions are always, always going to be relevant and important, and they shift because what was important last year might not be important this year. What meant something to you 5 years ago might not be who you are now. That's okay. So please recognize right from the start, you don't have to have some big, sexy purpose that you're going to discover under rock and go, there it is. And now I've got it. I'm going to be absolutely fine. It doesn't work like that. It's less like flicking a light switch. You've got it and then it's off and you've lost it and you've got it again. It's more like a discovery of something natural like the sunlight. Sunlight, sometimes it's glaring and sometimes really bright and powerful. Other times it just tinkers through, you see it through a cloud. Sometimes it's dark, you can't see it. Yeah. It's more about that. So think less like a light switch, more about the sun and cultivating the warmth and the sense of purpose and direction and being able to physically see that the sun finds for you and finds us on our way forward. And so please recognize that just as a human being, you have purpose and meaning. You're not an accident. You're here on purpose, right? Just because you belong to this world, you have purpose and meaning. And as you go through your life, you will create that, whether you realize it or not. So let's get into something specific, though. I wanted to give you something specific. I've written it down so I don't forget it. How can you help yourself and other people to discover purpose and meaning? Because you can work really hard. You can do a bunch of stuff. You can get your staff really productive, but they could be miserable because they don't see it. Your purpose and meaning might be to sell your business in 5 years. Your staff don't care about that. You're working hard really here for me today. No. Something I learned from Charles Handy, amazing Irish management philosopher. And his wife said to him once when he came home from work, why are you working so hard just to make money for these old men? And what she'd done there, she'd helped him in a quite brutal way to discover that he didn't have enough meaning and purpose in his work. And he realized that and he recognized that and he went, you're right. I'm just going to work to make money for these people. That's not enough for me. And he changed his life. So the first thing you can do is to ask questions, ask yourself questions and ask other people questions. So all the time. You've just been in a meeting. Ask somebody, what was most important about that meeting? What have you learned from that? Why did we do it? Yeah. Getting people to regularly answer questions. Behind every single question, I've learned this from years of teaching, behind every single question, you're basically saying, how do you apply this to your life? Do you get it? Have you got the thing itself? Because it's never enough to just do the work. We've got to understand what it means, and there has to be a purpose to it. Yeah. So asking a question is a really good way, a very quick way, to just see if the purpose of meaning is understood. Why we've had the meeting, why we're doing this, why we've got that deadline, why we're making that strategy change. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Get into a regular habit of asking yourself and questions of them. So, for example, what's the most important thing I need to do today? Simple as that, and build your day around that. Okay. So asking those questions, that's the first thing. Second thing I've written down for you is help people to self-reflect. Asking questions is a really good way to self-reflect. a really, really good way. So asking them regular questions or saying to yourself, I've got a deeper question I want to ask myself at the moment, or I don't really know why we're doing this, or that used to mean this to me. And I just don't feel the same buzz, or I don't care about that anymore. What am I really trying to do here? Yeah, asking harder and deeper questions, which I'll share with you at the end, can help you with that. And the third thing is to always link, and this is a really useful motivational tip for anybody to do any kind of work that's productive and meaningful, is ask people to link what they're doing and yourself to what they really care about, what they love. I learned this creating my 5 types of motivation model. Just say to people, what are the 3 most important things in your life? And shut up. Like, don't ask them anything further. Don't give them any help. And you'll always get a couple of people might say, like, why are you asking that? Most people say, oh, good question. Well, and they always say, well, my family, which is great. And then they might go into things that might surprise you. They might say the dog. They might say their health. They might say money. I've had all sorts of answers. And once you know that, once they've identified that, you link it back to the work. Look, I know it's hard work now. It's after Christmas, everybody's a bit tired, but this work we're doing these next 3 weeks is really going to help our clients with their self-assessment. Yeah, because they care about their family just like you care about yours. You can link everything back as long as it's something they care about, not you. Yeah, because the things that you care about might not be what they care about. They don't care about you maximizing your profit for your business and how much money you take home as a dividend. They don't care. They care about their family. Yeah. So it's a really powerful way of motivating people because as leaders, we have to be able to say what motivates me and what's important to me might not be that for you, probably isn't. Tell me what is for you and let's build that together. Yeah. A shared sense of purpose and meaning is a beautiful thing. It's the difference between me telling you what your purpose is, which you should never do to somebody, and asking, what do you love? Yeah, what do you love? I learned that from Viktor Frankl, Austrian psychologist and Holocaust survivor, lost his whole family in the Holocaust. And the question he started asking himself and asked all his clients afterwards was, what do you love? And can you build a whole life around that? That's purposeful. That's meaning. And before we finish with the questions, I just want to say you can live on purpose as well. So as well as thinking about these things that you care about and what means things to you, like family and things like that, you can start to be purposeful in your choices. It's not as simple as saying, I'll do all this and it will add up together like an algorithm. It's the perfect way to the perfect day. I've made that mistake. It's not about that. It's more just about saying, am I just sleepwalking through life or is there a meaning for this? So, for example, even the clothes you wear. There's me and my mum from Cataholis, right? Thank you, Laura, who made this for me. This is a piece of clothing that has intentionality and purpose and meaning behind it. There's a one off. There's only 2 of these in the world, one for me, one for my mum. And I made these to help myself to reflect that even the clothes I wear can be purposeful. So think about the clothes you're wearing. They send out a message. Think about the food that you're eating. Has it got a purpose? Yeah. Or did you not even think about it? Just shovel it in. Yeah. One of the biggest issues, and we've got a disparity here in the world, is some of us have way too much choice. Some of us don't have enough choice. Yeah. And that both sides can be very painful. Too much choice. It's hard to find the purpose and the meaning. Get lost in too much choice. Not enough choice. It's either this or this, and I don't want either. Well, that's painful as well. Okay. So just recognize that when you go to the gym, have you got a plan? Yeah. When you go home at the end of the day, yeah, can you be purposeful? Okay. So think about that living on purpose. It's a beautiful way to be. Everything means something. What does it mean? Don't know. I'm going to find out, but I'm going to do it on purpose with my eyes wide open. Yeah. So I want to finish giving you 3 self-reflection questions that I've asked myself and a lot of people for many years. And they're questions to chew on, right? So if you ask yourself these questions today, don't expect yourself to have an answer straight away. You might get one, but that's not why you're doing it. It's for you to really uncover, like we said before, the glow, the sunlight, the twinkles. It's not just like, here it is. Yeah. It's like, oh, I think it might be, well, that feels good. I can see something. Let me find a way with that. So first question, what would you do all day for free? Never mind what you're doing today. Never mind if you've got a job or if you've got a business or you're unemployed. If you're if you're a student, if it was all day for free, if you could, what would it be? And you'll find you start thinking, well, I've got family commitments, but your brain's clever. It sifts through layers and it'll start to discover things where you, well, actually, it'd be great to just do a bit of this. Because then your brain's very clever. It starts going, well, could you start doing a bit of that? You want to be a writer. Could you just start writing some blogs on the side? Second one is beautiful, inspired by Viktor Frankl. Thank you, Victor. Whom do you love? Do you love yourself? Do you love your family? Do you love your local community? Do you have a cause that you care about? Do you build a life around that? That's a beautiful question. Whom do you love? Because then you start thinking, well, I love my girlfriend. I don't see her enough. I need to make time to see her. Yeah. Or I love my family. Or I really love this. Okay, whom do you love? It's a really, really important question. It helps so much with purpose and meaning. Not many people that don't want to spend time around the people and the things they love. And the third question is a really interesting one. What are you interested in? Might not be something that you love. This could be a great question you can ask your employees. You might just say to them on a lunch break, whom do you love? But you might say, done anything recently that's interesting, exciting, started a new hobby, watched a good film, been on a night out, day out, trip, done something. People's answers might surprise you. You know, you might just think to yourself and say, well, I've really just been enjoying making my vintage clothes. I've really been enjoying learning dancing. I've really been enjoying blocking out my calendar and learning how to do, structures and different AI tools. And I've really been getting into that. Great. Really good. That's that living on purpose. Could you do a bit more of that? It's what's called in management talk, emerging strategy. Something is emerging here. It's not deliberate strategy. We don't know it's this for this. But something's emerging. You can follow that bit. So there's a lot there, isn't there? A lot there for you to think about in terms of meaning and purpose. But to sum it all up, just because you're here, you have meaning and purpose. You don't need to find it. It will discover itself as you live it. And there's a brilliant quote that I've lived for a long time by Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher. He said, he who has a why to live can bear any how. It's not about running away from suffering, as he knows and knew. It's not about, I'm going to get this thing and it's all going to be great. Nope. It's if you've got the why to live, then you can bear the how. Give it a try and good luck.